your psychic intellect and made you my puppet.
It's a bullseye! And here's your host, Jim Boyd!
Perhaps today is a good day to die. Prepare for running speed!
Sir, there's another starship coming in. It's the Enterprise.
Bone, your shoulder bone connected to you. Neck bone, your neck bone connected to you. Head bone, now hear the word of the Lord. Them bones gonna walk around.
Take a base of action. Green group, skip across the holding sector of each other.
Admiral, we have enemy ships in Sector 47.
It's a trap.
.007 Triple X.
Bond, what do you think you're doing?
Keeping the British end up, sir.
Nobody does.
Sorry if I scared you. You'll like this bit.
Oh, bollocks! Bollocks! I started my opening ramble. I was like, the delays there, and I realized it wasn't on screen, right? So, YouTubing 101. Make sure you're on screen, right? Make sure you're on screen. That always is helpful, right? That's just my recommendation. You do you, baby. Whatever works for you. Boy, I'm cream crackered. I am cream crackered, ladies and gentlemen. That's if you're not English or from London. I mean, I'm a bit tired. So I finished my stream, right, last night. And about 20 minutes later, I was on, was it either Facebook or Type 40? I don't know. Dad's got two channels, right? If you're not subscribed to the smaller one, go ahead and subscribe to it. It was a great little stream. I really enjoyed myself, but I was knackered. By the time I left, it was like 12:30. And look, I'm an old man, okay? Although my son had just come home from the army. He's home for a couple of days because his friend's getting married tonight. Which is, you know, that's just the way things work here in Israel. Look, I'm not allowed. If you're asking me, kids, if you should do drugs, right? The answer is no. Don't do drugs. They're bad for you. However, if you're in Israel and you phone up your weed dealer and he's like, "Oh man, my wife's having a baby," I'm like, "But yeah, I would be like, Mazel tov." So you know that they wouldn't be able to come out today. That's what it's like living in Israel. It was kind of family. Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty cracking because I got to bed like at 1. And that was the thing. My son, okay, when he came home, they stopped and they got a pizza from Domino's. I mean, kosher Domino's. We have those in Israel, but I had anchovies on it, which is my favorite thing on a pizza of all time. Right, a favorite thing of all time. I love anchovies. I'm kind of what's the one from Futurama? Zoidberg, right? His whole species depleted the world of their anchovy population. Right, so that's what I'm like. Right, so I stayed up later. And you have to know it's a pain in the ass, right, to eat pizza. Because if you eat pizza is considered bread if you have more than 2 slices, right? Because it's essentially bread. With stuff on it. Unless you're of the Sephardi tradition, right? You're from you're one of the more Eastern swarthy Jews, right? Then I think you're okay. So to do that, so then you've got to do the whole thing. You have to wash your hands ritually, right, before you eat it. You got to say a blessing on your hands, then you say a blessing on the bread, right? And you got to sit down when you're doing that, and then you got this like lengthy blessing that goes. It's not like rubber dub dub. Here's thanks for grub. It's like this lengthy blessing you have to. I still did that 12:30 because of anchovy pizza, mate. I'm like, I can't wait. No, I need anchovy pizza. The greatest thing ever. You know, I was watching my titles just now, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm very excited for the Blake 7 collection coming out, right? Well, I saw that clip from the Sing Detectives. I'm like, man, that is another seam that they could really make some money out of. Yeah, if they gave it the collection, what's the word? Treatment, right? So the works of Dennis Potter, right? He is a. Hey, let's have a look. Right, Dennis Potter, if you don't know, Singing Detective is probably one of his best thing. But he had a long career. I kind of liked his final thing, which was with the BBC and Channel 4, because BBC did this thing called Black Eyes with him, and it didn't do very well. I think it wasn't very good. It was the first thing he directed. It was interesting, but it wasn't like great like the other things. So then he went to Channel 4. Well, let's have a look. Let's look up his what's it called again? His Wikipedia, because I bet there's a ton of stuff they could be putting out with that. And there's never been a high def Singing Detective release. Again, if you haven't seen it, it is an all-time classic. What can they put out in this range? All right, do we have his filmography anywhere? Really? Dennis Potter official site from 2009. Why didn't you have a list of like? Why not just have a list of his works? Oh no, I want a list. Really? Oh man, Brimstone and Treacle. That's awesome. Brimstone and Treacle has Denham Elliott and Sting in it. There's so many things he's at once. Really? I just want a list of Dennis Potter's works, right? Notable work, Lipstick on a Collar. I think it's probably that one. Let's go and look at IMDb. Dennis Potter. Oh yeah, we'll watch the Venom trailer. Dennis Potter. There you go. Like Harry Potter, but much better. Fine. Let's look at his what they could release. Goes back to what was this first thing? Well, he did all these like Play for Today's things, these playhouses over here. But first one was it Vote Nigel Barton? He did one of those. Is that in the Playhouse? So Casanova, I have that, but I've never seen it. That's one of his early things in 71, right? It's not what he started getting. Brimstone and Treacle, right? That should maybe go in with another set, right? Maybe Brimstone and Treacle go in with Casanova. Brimstone and Treacle's freaking awesome, right? I saw a play of it as well on stage. Do you have any pictures from it? That's not Sting, is it? I don't know. This is the one with Sting in it, I think, right? Wasn't it? Delaney, Patricia Lewis. Really? I was convinced Sting was in this. No. Oh wait, there you go. That's him. I recognize him right there. Well, they did a movie version in '82. I did not know that. That is really interesting, right? So anyway, the basic idea of it. Okay, so you can put. I think I would put both those things. But both versions of Brimstone and Treacle in it, right? So Brimstone and Treacle is about this like charming person who ends up inveigling his way into like this nice couple's older couple's home, and they have a daughter who is like completely disabled, right? And he's basically the devil, right? That's how it comes out. He's basically the devil or some kind of demon. But yeah, look, everyone say the Bates sadly care for their severely disabled daughter Patty. Martin arrives at the door claiming to be her college friend. He charms them into accepting him as a lodger and care for Patty. But Martin is not all he seems. Yeah, it's very dark, right? It's very dark. But there's just, I mean, right, there is a lot of stuff there. They could really go into the stuff in detail. Birds of a Feather. Really? What's Birds of a Feather? Cream and Coffee, I kind of remember. Pennies from Heaven. That would be a set in of itself, right? That would be an awesome set. Dream Child. He wrote Gorky Park. Really? Blimey. Okay, that was him as a jobbing writer. But Pennies from Heaven is one of his standout things. This is the movie version starring Steve Martin, which wasn't very good, right? The original BBC version, where was it from? Must be Pendulum Heaven, there you go, from 1978, 6 episodes with Bob Hoskins. Again, brilliant. And there's so many themes that just recur from Dennis Potter's work, like, scary vagrants, which, he talks more about as his career goes on. Black Eyes was disappointing, right? That was it wasn't as good as you hoped to. Track 29. Oh man, he wrote Track 29. I did not know that. Okay, Track 29 is about. It's kind of similar to Brimstone and Treacle. It's about a guy who inveigles his way. What's the log line? Linda is still tormented by giving up her baby for adoption at 15. She wants a baby, but her husband has enough with his model trains mistress and being a doctor. Right? That's a weird movie. Nicholas Roeg, I think, directed that. Wow. Lipstick on a Collar, that's more traditional Dennis Potter. But then he did this, like, there was a Teen Detective miniseries? No, in 2003, they didn't do a sequel to it. I thought that was this is the movie with Robert Downey Jr., which also wasn't very good, right? Every time I make a movie and stuff, it's never that great. Okay, Karaoke and Cold Lazarus, they were his 2 last things. So Karaoke, he's basically, the main character is basically himself, and he's dying. And his reality starts breaking down around him, essentially, as he dies, right? So it's very personal and very autobiographic. And then the second series that went along with that is called Cold Lazarus, is when his frozen head is woken up in a unrecognizable future, right? And to get his memories to use for content, essentially. But yeah, look, there's a lot of scope there with being able to get the collection treatment with Dennis Potter stuff. Man, I would love that. I would freaking love that. And the other question I have about the opening titles. I'm still on the opening titles. That's not good. The other question I have about the opening titles is why at the end of The Spy Love Me, right? You got General Gogol and M. Who else is it in that beginning bit? I can't remember, but they're like, Bond, Agent Triple X. What are you doing? Like, what do you think they're doing? They just had sex. What? Why is that weird? Right? Why is that? Why is it like Roger Moore in 1970, whatever? Was a pretty sexy guy, right? He was look. Believe it or not, John Purdy was pretty darn sexy as well in the 70s. Yeah, the 70s was a weird time. So why are they so Bond? What are you doing? Having she offered, and it seemed like okay. I like, what is there to be surprised about? I don't know. I do not know, ladies and gentlemen. Well, there's a lot to be surprised about. There's a lot going on in the world. Okay, so firstly, this story I want to talk about, which does annoy me, right? Which does kind of like seriously annoy me. Check this out. So Lee Anderson, I hadn't heard of before this election when he joined Reform, but he's fast becoming one of my favorite politicians, right? Assisted dime bill set to be rushed into law. Why are you rushing that into law? What the hell? So Lee Anderson said, assisted dying. I do not think this should be rushed, but I do think we need a full and frank debate on the issue. So yeah, listen, my mother was an advocate because my mother had cancer, of allowing people to die with dignity. I would never, where I am on it, I would never say no to someone. Well, maybe I would, but I would never support it either, right? Because I think life is precious, right? And I can't put myself in that position with the pain of having cancer. But this just seems to be evil and degenerate, right? Which I think is I think that's the watchword for this government: evil and degenerate. Cole Benjamin of the Lucy's says, "Why wait for the pensioners to freeze to death when the state can execute themselves? That is the vibe I'm getting from them, right? That is the vibe. And they're just like, this government is like the most corrupt, evil government. It's unbelievable how corrupt and evil they are, right? And are they just like, completely inefficient? Is that it? Is that why they can't cover up being corrupt and evil? Because they're so corrupt and evil. So this blew my mind as well. David Lammy, who is a moron beyond morons. Oh my God. Guy is so stupid. It's painful. Stupid people look at him and go, man, that's dumb. And it's not because, oh God, it's so weird that people are like, oh no, you're saying that because he's black. Why? How do you associate stupidity and skin color? That's just dumb, mate. That's just dumb. Stupidity and wokeness, yeah, I can totally equate that. David Lammy complains that the taxpayer doesn't foot the bill for the clothes for Keir Starmer and his wife, Victoria's PM, is accused of hypocrisy for failing to care the money for dresses from millionaire Labour donor. They're so fucking dirty. Right? Okay, so look, here's him talking about it on, I don't know, Meet the Press or whatever it is. And look, if I was a reporter, I would be loving this Labour government because there's so much stuff you can just drag them over the coals about.
That, but I also recognise that in our country, there isn't a budget for the Prime Minister's clothes or his wife's clothes. In some countries, there's a substantial budget. I've just come back from America where there is a substantial budget to ensure that the US President and the First Lady, their appearance can never be challenged. That is not the case.
Okay, David, darling, David, you get paid a salary. The Prime Minister gets paid a salary. How much is a salary? UK Prime Minister's salary. I wonder if he gets as much as the train drivers. Right? UK Prime Minister's salary. He gets £166,000 £167,000 a year, right? That's an MP salary, or is that 10 down? Is that the Prime Minister? Okay, £167,000 a year. I'll buy your own fucking clothes, you cheap fucking cunt. What are you talking about? We don't have a budget for to buy clothes for the Prime Minister. I don't have a government budget to buy my clothes either, you dumb cunt. Are you out your fucking mind? What the fuck? Really? We don't have a budget. No one has a budget from the government to buy their fucking clothes, you dumb fucking piece of shit. Are you really? Ooh, how about you take some of your overpaid fucking salary and you go to I was going to say Marks and Smith, but no. Go to CNA. How about that? Like every other fucking normal person in the world. We don't have and like the cronyism. This is off the charts, right? It is off the charts how quickly that just straight away, right? And all the bullshit they said for years and years and years turned out to be exactly that. Just bullshit, right? Just bullshit. There's so much bullshit. Beyond bloody belief, it really is. But okay, but there are all good things coming as well. I do see the whole establishment just falling apart. We don't have a budget for clothes. Well, that's what your salary is for. Do you have a budget for breakfast? No. Then take your salary and buy yourself breakfast. God, and look, he's so fucking stupid. He thought that was a good answer. Man, that is dumb. That is like super duper duper dumb, right? Just it's like being dumb beyond dumb. It's like, good times are coming. Was it? Do we have any? I love it when he puts on his thinky face, right? And like, oh no, yeah, no, they need their money to be able to wear their tat. Really. Look, okay. Keir, if you want to show a good face of Britain, how about not being a totalitarian fascist cunt? Have you thought of that, maybe? No. Do you have a budget not to be a totalitarian fascist cunt? Right? No, you don't. No budget to be not. So we have to be just look how dumb this fuck is. It's unbelievable. This is more pictures. Duh. Oh yes, we need this so England doesn't look like a bunch of cunts. Really? Like, no, they just offered you money. This boy offered you a bunch of money and you took it. And he's got an award from Stonewall. Gee, and it just gets worse and worse, doesn't it? Right? I don't want to hear what he's got to say. Duh. I mean, yeah, I mean, like, they got to dress up that beauty, don't they? What the hell? Really? I mean, honestly, what the hell is going on with that? That is crazy. But anyway, this is why it's all falling apart, right? This is actually very good news. This is why they did everything good to stop. Gert Wilders? No, Gert Wilders. That's his name. Big breaking news. Netherlands anti-Muslim leader Gert Wilders. I don't think he's that. I wouldn't call him anti-Muslim. I think he will say, anti-Muslim uncontrolled immigration into the Netherlands. Maybe. A new far-right government. Is it far-right? See, when you say far-right, I don't know what that means anymore. Right? I think Keir Starmer's far left. But I generally do not know what that means anymore. Netherlands anti-Muslim leader Gert Wilders, the new far-right party, declares state of emergency due to migrant crisis. Well, that makes a lot of sense, right? That makes a ton of sense. History can be created in Europe. Netherlands is set to bring emergency laws to curb migration. Netherlands will ask to opt out the EU migration policy. The European Union and George Soros rattled. Yes. Right? Yeah. Good luck to you, mate. Because, this is the Muslim immigration. Yay! Rape and murder Jews. We love that. Oh, we feel so good about ourselves because we're on board with raping and murdering Jews. By the way, freaky thing happened this morning. My wife was driving to work, right? And she's talking to my daughter on the phone. And she says, I can see a missile heading in my direction, right? And my daughter's like, that'd be silly, though. And then she sees everybody starting to pull over. I'll get what little footage I have of it, right? Where am I put over here? And here we go. Do I hit the download button? Is there a download button built into this? We need to play it first before it lets me download it. Oh no, here you go. Doink. Right, so yeah, and then so she sees all the cars pulling over, so she pulls over as well, and she gets to the car. Now she can hear the siren. This is a ballistic missile that was fired from Yemen, right? And nobody had any idea, like what to do, like how to take it out. It fell apart, thankfully, right? But imagine driving the bloody way, and my wife's like, "I'm not getting a fucking ditch. Are you out of your mind?" Look, I can see the missile. It's over there. If it starts turning in my direction, I'll get in the ditch. Otherwise, I'm fine, right? It's just a weird way to start the day, right? We live in weird times, baby. We live in weird times. So, yeah, was it Gert Wilders throwing off the yoke of control, right? One second. What's this one over here? Oh, yeah, more about this. It's unbelievable to me, right? There's something sleazy about people ingratiating themselves by spending $18,685 on work clothes. I mean, really? I mean, again, your income is $167,000, right? So it will be $149,000 instead after you you bought your own fucking clothes. Really? No, I'm Prime Minister. Somebody has to buy my knickers. Really? That is work clothes and glasses. Oh, I also bought his glasses. Well, there you go. That's what cost the money on Keir Starmer and his wife. Oh, he's the one who told him to start wearing glasses, right? Then felt his wife also had a personal shopper. Well, again, is there a budget for what's she fucking doing with her life other than touring the future concentration camps they're building for anybody who would dare resist the re-education of the glorious, stunning and brave Labour. But donor Lord Ali did get a security pass to Downing Street. Why would he even want a security pass to Downing Street? And like, that's just weird, right? It is just weird. Unfortunately, on the other side of the pond, we have JD Vance. JD Vance is just like killing it as always. Here he is handing, what's the name? Dana. I can't remember her name. Dana the moron from CNN, her ass. Which I bet she has a nice ass. In all fairness to Dana.
Would you like to ask me questions and then let me answer them, or would you like to debate me on these topics? I noticed that when you had Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, you gave them multiple choice answers to the questions that you asked, and you allowed them to answer the questions. I'm happy to be here to talk about policy, but if you're going to interrupt me every single time that I open my mouth, then why am I even doing this? So please ask.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've noticed they have to interrupt you, right? They can't let you get a word out, because if they do, they might start to think. God help us, right? Oh, I saw Carol Vorderman's got all this after campaigning nonstop for Keir Starmer is now like, oh wait, he's shit. Yes, Carol, yes, and you're a fucking idiot for not realizing it when the whole rest of the world told you. Although good on her for actually realizing. I wonder if David Tennant's got his head out of his ass yet, right? I wonder. And what's saying? The internet's looking dodgy. Don't be dodgy, interwebs. Okay, fine. There we go.
Ask a question, and I'd ask you to be polite enough to let me answer it.
Yes.
I mean, that's somebody really being schooled, right? That's somebody really genuinely having their ass handed to them. By the way, can I find this thing here? Let me look it up. There's this guy who went on a bender. He did a 15, 20-minute video essentially about Ian Levine, but it's all about me. I can find it. This guy is such a... And then he deleted... I said, look, come if you want to talk, come on my channel. And he deleted the comment. Pussy. That's the thing. These people are just such incredible pussies, aren't they? I wouldn't want to be such a pussy, frankly. I would be somewhat embarrassed. Oh, here it is. I'll be somewhat embarrassed to be such a pussy. But this guy like lies about me for 15 minutes straight, and he can't even pronounce my name, right? It's like, what's up your ass? Other than you're an asshole, right? I don't understand, right? Here, let's pull this up. We're not here. Video file. We're not going to watch the whole thing. It's 15 bloody minutes. Are you out your mind?
How's it going, guys? Brian here, back again with another video. Today we're taking a look at another Ian Levine post.
By the way, here, let me see if I can find his page. It is Ian Levine, 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 Ian. Here, look at this. Man, I mean, this is it. Okay. This is bonkers McBonkers. Ian Levine, Ian Levine, Ian Levine, Ian Levine, Ian Levine. Like, what is up your ass, mate? Italy, Metallica, really? Like, it's like you made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 videos. Oh no, 8 videos in the last month about Ian Levine and his AI reconstructions, which we're going to look at those tonight. Fucking excellent, right? Absolutely excellent.
Where he posts something extremely inflammatory. This is the second.
Not really. Only if you're a idiot pussy who is terrified of having the piss taken out of you.
Third time I'm going to have to record this video because I keep messing it up each time. And first time, I accidentally hit my button that...
I don't give a shit, okay? Yeah, you shit at doing this. Like, it's got a huge channel. It's like got, how many? 16,000 subs? Yeah, it's got 16,000 subs. And this video had 143 views. How sad. That guy paid for his subs.
The recording, and the second time I forgot to unmute my microphone, but everything should be working.
Well, okay, with a brain trust like this, I'm sure everything's going to go well
right now. So let's get started into this. Ian Levine writes, "I'm allowed to express this view because I'm 100% gay, disabled, and in a wheelchair."
Yeah, I would say you're allowed to express your view regardless of your immutable characteristics. But carry on.
And Jewish. If it weren't for, I'm guessing if I wasn't, then the PC brigade would venomously accuse me of homophobia.
Yes, as this guy's about to do. To me,
he's referring to this this video by Tzvi Lebetkin.
Like, if you're gonna diss me for 15 minutes, say my fucking name right. Tzvi Lebetkin. How did he say it? Tzvi? And he gets worse saying it.
Referring to this this video by Tzvi Lebetkin.
Tzvi Lebetkin. You've never, ever, ever listened to a word I fucking said, have you? Little cunt.
Also known as a rabbi from another planet. Tzvi Lebetkin is known...
Tzvi Lebetkin. It's not my fucking name. Tzvi Lebetkin. Tzvi Lebetkin, not Tzvi Lebetkin. Fucking tosspot.
As an extremely far-right grifter like Nerdrod.
Okay, why? Well, firstly, thank you for comparing me to Nerdrodic. I had that, but like, what am I grifting about? Like, okay, what is that I'm grifting about? I'm intrigued, right? What's this con that I've got going on? You see, you know, I generally speaking, I find people with like these extreme left-wing views are either midwits or fuckwits. So this guy is somewhere between the two. He's either fuckwit or a midwit, all right? And when he doesn't understand something, he thinks it's somebody else's fault, not his, because he's a fucking moron, right? An absolute moron.
Like, or some of those other YouTubers that like to post vitriol and bigotry on Doctor Who and everything.
I've never posted vitriol or bigotry on Doctor Who. No, vitriol I have, right? I said, this is unwatchable shit. Now, if you want to call that vitriol, see, I don't know. Look, people often have a meltdown for the silliest things, right? Like, I was having about 6 months ago. I was having a conversation with the newish rabbi at my synagogue, right? And I did mention in passing, like, oh, yeah, it was a nitwit idea you had. It was stupid, right? And he fucked up something essentially, right? And he was so offended. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Yeah, look, you know you screwed up. I know you screwed up. Everybody knows you screwed up. It was a bad idea. Get over it. And although, because he likes Doctor Who, I was able to talk him down and say, yeah, but you know, I'll remind you of the 1970s episode of Doctor Who, The Robots of Death, where the Doctor is talking to a robot, right? And the robot realized he messed something up. He failed. Said, I failed. And Tom Baker was like, yes, but failure is one of the basic freedoms. Honestly, I don't get it. Like, you know, if you ever read the Old Testament, it's about, you know, our greatest heroes in my culture fucking up, right? They don't shy away from us fucking. Everybody fucks up. Anyway, but yeah, this guy's I think a fuckwit. So yeah, I did call him a fuckwit a few times.
In their shitty criticisms about how Doctor Who is woke now because.
Okay, why? The reason that you like it is because it's woke now. It's the same reason that the ratings are tanking, right? I love it. Oh, woke, whatever that means. Oh, it's what Doctor Who is. Yeah, that's what it means.
We have trans people in the story, or there's a gay person, or there's somebody.
Firstly, I love how they always conflate trans people with gay people, and they say there's a gay person in the story. Yeah, nobody has a problem with a gay person in the story, right? No, nobody whatsoever. This kid, he sounds like a kid. He's either a kid or a moron kid, which is that's what I got my money on. He's look, you got to understand. Most of the world think it's that people with penises can never be women, right? Most of the world, right? You have a little bubble in Western civilization which are being throttled to death and losing culture war now because of it. Because most of the world do not think people with penises can be women, and they think things propagating that idea is propaganda. Now, let me say that I'm not dogmatically telling you that I know I'm right. I'm saying that's a belief of most people in the world, right? Moreover, that's the belief of, I would say, a massive proportion of the world, all the religious Jews, Muslims, and Christians, right? So that's what, I don't know, it's like several billion, right? I think a lot more than trans community. They find cross-dressing deeply immoral, right? Have you ever been to, any Arab country and try to go for a bit of trans love, right? Go for a bit of cross-dressing? No, you'll get the shit kicked out of you and thrown in jail because they find it deeply immoral, right? This shows you that it's not a universally accepted ethical position, right? I have no problem with anybody being trans. I have a problem with trying to convince people, especially children, that being trans is a normative sexual option where it's really a kink, right? And you're welcome to have whatever kink you want. Of course, this piece of shit doesn't know anything because he's never seen my work, like never seen anything. Tzvi Lebetkin.
Wheelchair. They all think.
Why would anybody care? Be upset there's somebody in a wheelchair. What I found obnoxious about the Shirley Ann Bingham character is she was only there to have a wheelchair, right? It was demeaning to handicapped people, right? And equally, the taking Davros out of his wheelchair and making him walk around was one of the most awful and insulting things to handicapped people I've ever seen, right? I saw many handicapped people disgusted by that. But in this guy's silly little world, he can't fathom that.
That's woke because or because the Doctor regenerated into a woman, the 13th Doctor, which Ian Levine.
Okay, the 13th Doctor regenerated into a woman as a political statement, as a social political statement. I actually think it's something that could have worked had they not relentlessly fucked it up, right? By having useless writing surrounding it. And her being terribly miscast, right? I think it's something that actually probably would have worked quite well. I don't know, could have maybe. I don't want to go out on a limb now, right? But like, it was the execution of it, and the reason the execution failed is the same reason the execution of the current era is failing, because it's there to lecture you rather than to entertain you, right? Whereas something like Happiness Patrol, which I think was one of the most perfect ways of dealing with government overreach against gay people in the 80s, which I was alive for and I lived through. I think it's one of the perfect ways of representing that in Doctor Who by having a compelling, exciting narrative. And it was an interesting one as well, like played with mystery, right? It was really great. Right, it was fantastic. So that wasn't tokenism, whereas today, Ncuti Gatwa is pure tokenism.
Has expressed his hatred for, which is surprising because it's been established that Time Lords can regenerate into a different gender. And
no, it was established at the end of the Capaldi, the last Capaldi year. Oh no, when what's the name? The old bloke regenerated into, I can't remember, famous black bald lesbian woman. What's her name again? Tia Miller, maybe. I really can't remember her name. And she was like, "Oh, it was so awful being a man." I mean, and why? Because this was all agenda driven, pushed by the executives at the BBC, right? Because there's a absolute hatred of normative masculinity or gender roles, right? Just absolute hatred of it that the vast majority of the world is happy to fit into. I'm going to say for like 99.9% probably.
And that apparently gets mad. If anything, Ian should be mad at the writing of the story.
Well, yes. And actually, that's what most people are. They're mad at the writing of the story because it's shit. I find the tokenism disdainful, right? But like the thing you can really hang your hat on is the writing of it. And the same with Rusty Davis here. I mean, look, the Sutek stuff, unwatchable garbage. I mean, genuinely unwatchable garbage.
Because Jodie Whittaker was a fantastic actor. She just got the short end of the stick when it came to.
Okay, I haven't seen any evidence of that whatsoever. She was a awful actor. And the best actor in the Jodie Whittaker years was what's his name? The white bloke. The guy who brought him to be the white bloke. Who took it wasn't like they wrote good lines for him and shit for everybody else. He was just a good actor and able to make it feel real. Jodie Whittaker had no clue about what the character was, how to play the character. And frankly, from what I saw, just wasn't clever enough to play the character.
To good written stories. But
good written stories, there you go.
Once Big Finish releases those audio stories, she'll have some great fun.
Yeah, and we'll have quite a few ashtrays going somewhere as well.
But going back to this, Ian Levine saying he can't be homophobic because he's gay, disabled and in a wheelchair, and Jewish. That's completely wrong.
How's that completely wrong? Because it seems to be like, would you say he hates himself for his immutable characteristics?
He 100% can be homophobic.
I mean, again, if you define homophobic as disagreeing with you, then I guess anybody can't they? Right? Oscar Wilde was probably homophobic, according to this guy.
It's called internalized homophobia.
It's called you're a woke fuck who isn't very clever and is trying to make sense of things that is frankly above your pay grade.
It's like when you're a part of the LGBTQ community, which Ian is. He's gay. He's openly gay. He's expressed that he is gay.
Do you know how many gay people are not part of the LGBTQIA community? I would say most of them. This guy probably doesn't know anybody gay.
In the past. And like internalized homophobia is when you have bigoted views against gay people.
What are his bigoted views against gay people? Specifically, what are they?
Even though you yourself are a gay person.
Because you have this guy has a bigoted view against anybody who doesn't think the way he does, right? There must be evil. If you don't think the way he does, you must be a Nazi. And yeah, I have to tell you, one of the best explanations of bigotry was in Doctor Who, the Daleks, when Ian Chesterton said it's a dislike of the unlike, and this guy is full of it.
And that's where it comes from. Ian is one of those people who has internalized homophobia because he seems to hate.
I mean, what's your psychological pedigree? How are you able to make this diagnosis with never having counseled him? Oh, right, you can't because you're a twat.
The fact that gay people are being represented on TV now?
Nobody cares about gay people being represented on TV, and why are you conflating gay people with chicks with dicks, right? Nobody cares. Like, we didn't mind in the 2000s. We didn't mind in the 90s, right? We didn't really mind in the 80s, frankly, right? But what do you think, like, everybody loved Captain Jack, right? What do you think suddenly happened that people do not like Yasmin Finney? Because they're not the same thing.
With the introduction of Ncuti Gat was the 15th Doctor, and Russell,
the lowest rated, biggest failure of the Doctor, and that's following Jodie Whittaker. That's pretty bad.
Russell T Davies coming back to write new stories and everything.
I was excited for it too, darling.
As the new showrunner for the new series of Doctor Who, and it's crazy. If it weren't bad that Ian himself is being homophobic,
he's not. Again, you haven't just demonstrated any homophobia whatsoever.
He says, "I now share Gareth Roberts' views, and I'm proud of him for daring to speak out."
So again, Gareth Roberts, prominent gay man, gay activist, but no, he's a Nazi too who hates gays, isn't he? Everybody's Hitler apart from me.
Roberts is, if people don't know, was a writer on Doctor Who. He's written some episodes like Shakespeare Code.
That was a good one.
And some other stuff. But he recently was.
It was in about 7 years ago, maybe more.
Outed.
Probably before this guy had pubic hair.
As a transphobic piece of shit, after he posted some tweets saying that trans people are trying to erase gay people.
Never posted anything of the kind. He posted very funny tweets that say, trans people are never called something like, Jennifer or Stacy. They're always called like, glamour puss or something like fair boy.
Gareth Roberts himself is an openly gay man, and for him to express views.
So like, okay, you've got two gay people who say things that you don't like, so they're anti-gay.
Like that is absolutely baffling. I'm surprised
I know you're baffled. The reason you're baffled is because you're a moron.
He has views like that. Because, like, we don't need people, like, completely fighting with one another in this.
What if they disagree with each other? No, you're gay. You have to have gay views. If you don't have gay views, that means you're a Nazi. Really? Look, this is how this midwit thinks.
type of thing. And rightfully, Gareth Roberts was fired as a writer for Doctor Who.
Never happened. He was never fired as a writer for Doctor Who. That never, ever, ever, ever happened.
So he'll never come back to Doctor Who.
From his choice, he sees it's filled with weirdo, nasty cunts like this.
And write again. But he decided to completely embrace his far-right grift and write a book.
Why is everything you don't agree with a grift? Right, why is it, we all know that you're right about everything. We're all just pretending. Why? Maybe you could be wrong about something. Has this guy ever been wrong about anything?
Book called The Trans Problem, which again expresses his views that trans people are trying to erase gay people in the world. And reminder, Gareth Roberts is an openly gay man. And
you've already said that, mate. You already said that. And again, that you can't work out what's going on. It's a you problem. He hasn't even got to me yet. Come on, he can't.
He's being so transphobic against people just because they changed their sex and feel comfortable being a different sex. And then
if they feel so comfortable, why is their suicide rate still so high? Is it good because you don't accept them as it? No, that's not the reason. It's because up until very recently, this was called body dysmorphia or body dysgraphia. I can't remember one of those two, right? And it was a psychological complaint that people were treated for. Now we've normalized the mental illness.
And then they were assigned at birth.
Assigned at birth. He's got a penis. What do you think he is? I don't know, let's randomly assign him male.
It's getting ridiculous. And the fact,
yes, you are.
The fact that Ian even possesses or agrees with Gareth Roberts is frankly disgusting. I think.
Again, what's he say? What is he? Yeah, you've been very light on the Pacific. It still hasn't got to me.
By
the way, Ian, thank you very much for sharing this. I didn't mean to, bury the lead there.
Shouldn't be swept under the rug, or it shouldn't be tolerated anymore. Ian Levine needs to be.
Views other than mine shouldn't be tolerated. This guy is a Nazi. This guy is a literal Nazi.
Deplatformed, essentially. I don't say that lightly, but
yes, you do. You say it to anybody who you don't like. They should be deplatformed.
Like it's frankly insulting that he's even allowed to express these views without any repercussions. Same with Tzvi Lebetkin.
Tzvi Lebetkin. Tzvi Lebetkin. Tzvi Lebetkin, you dumb cunt. God, try and just say it over and over again. If you're gonna try and attack someone, at least have the courtesy to say their fucking name, you dumb fuck. Oh,
Tzvi Lebetkin is one of those, as I said, he's one of those far right YouTubers.
I'm so far right. Oh yeah. I think generally speaking, that all people, not generally speaking, absolutely, that all peoples are intrinsically equal and deserving of respect. Yeah, that's far right.
Even though he is Jewish, it doesn't mean. I mean, you got people like Ben Shapiro who are far right and conservative, and they're even though they're Jewish, they express some far right conservative.
You do know the Nazis were socialists, right? No, he doesn't. This guy is a moron, right? The Nazis were national socialists. That's left wing
points and values and such. Tzvi Lebetkin this is actually one of the tamest. One of the tamest thumbnails he's.
Oh, does my thumbnail twigger you? Does it make you sad, or does it make you tingly in your private bits? I think it makes you tingly in your private bits. That makes you scared.
Had for his videos. You should see some other ones. I'll probably put one up. That's basically
right. So this is from who was it? This is what the one they obsessed about, right? And here, look at this. Rabbi, won't this make the Twitter cycles awfully cross? Yes, it will! This is hilarious, right? This is absolutely hilarious. J-Bot Meltdown, Toxic Fads, and Watch-Alongs. They basically did. Stranded 2, Woke Propaganda, Woke Propaganda. The Erotic Adventures of Schoolgirl Victoria. Dude, you don't realize I'm trolling you? No, they don't, because they're too fucking stupid. Man, they're too fucking stupid to troll.
Kind of tame, but still kind of disgusting. He posts a lot of sexualized.
Yes, deeply sexualized. Oh, it makes my knickers go tight. He's making my knickers go tight.
Thumbnails on.
By the way, this is why my videos get more views than you, and you've got like a channel like 4 times the size of mine.
His YouTube channel.
Because I'm funny and you're a douchebag.
I'm guessing he's trying to get clicks and everything. Try to clickbait people and everything.
No, I take the piss. Because your ilk of people have deeply sexualized everything, right? I follow suit, right? And I do it in a heterosexual way rather than a LGBTQIA plus way, right? And weirdly, that's not okay. Chicks with dicks are fine. Chicks with vaginas, no way. Weirdos. Hey kids, give chemical castration a chance. You don't want to be a bigot, do you? If you thought all we ever tried to do was scissor in the TARDIS.
Using sex, as always, as they say, sex sells.
No, sex makes you crazy, which makes me laugh.
But Jesus Christ, it's kind of like there's one of Victoria Waterfield and everything. Oh,
you already just showed that, you dumb cunt.
Oh, let me get talking about Victoria Waterfield. And
this guy obviously follows Mr. TARDIS, the biggest anti-Semite. I think one of the major anti-Semites sadly contact with.
One of the videos a few years back of Tzvi Lebetkin. This man's like
Tzvi Lebetkin. You know nothing about me whatsoever.
Triple the age of Victoria Waterfield at the time. I'm
not triple the age of Victoria Waterfield because Victoria Waterfield's not real. It's pretend, right? However, Victoria Waterfield, the age of a character was between 18 and 22. So, and I'm in my 50s, so 2.5 times. Yeah, now here's the thing. Would I like to have an extended sexual encounter with a group of high-paid, really top-of-the-line porn stars, right, for a few days? Yes, I would love that. I would. Now, am I going to have an extended sexual encounter with a group of top professional porn stars? No. Well, why not? You want to do it? Well, several reasons. One, I think it'll be awfully expensive, and I can't afford it. Two, much more pertinently, I'm married and I'm faithful to my wife. So why am I saying I would like to fuck Deborah Watley? I would like to fuck an 18-year-old Deborah Watley. That's me saying, yeah, I think that will be quite fun. I think that will be a pleasurable experience, but like not more pleasurable than being happily married. Okay, carry on.
In Doctor Who, Victoria, when we first meet Victoria Waterfield, she's like 14 or 15 years.
You've never even seen an episode with Victoria Waterfield in, have you? You've never seen one. You have no idea who the character is or what she looks like, right? You genuinely have no clue. No, she was 18 to 22, as clearly defined by the production team and her costume.
Years old, and Tzvi Lebetkin. In this video I'm about to put up, he expressed his views that he wants to have sex with Victoria Waterfield because
and Millie Gibson. Don't get me wrong. That I would do. Yes, I'd like to have sex with Nicola Bryant, like an 18-year-old Nicola Bryant. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I would like that. Yeah, I would enjoy that
because she's so cute, innocent, and naive.
No. That was me saying that it will be easy to be unscrupulous and get her into bed because she's cute, innocent, naive. Now, that, if you were a completely sexually inadequate tosspot, you would understand was a jokey joke. Yes, Yes, I don't like to, groom and rape children. Weird, isn't it? Like, I look, maybe because I'm not from Pakistan. I don't know. I don't want to denigrate anybody else's culture.
And I'm like, and when I saw this, I was like, Jesus Christ. Here's the video.
Polly, better Polly. Yeah, okay, so I reckon I had a chance of Polly. Okay, why isn't that a problem? Like Annette Wills and Deborah Watling were like what, a year or two behind? How old is? 1 second. Annette Wills, is it? Is that the name? Yeah, Annette Wills. So she was born in 1941, and Deborah Watling was born in. Okay, there's 7 years between them. Like, that was it, right? I mean, that's literally it. I believe, yeah, let's see. Copy image address. What is this? Copy image address. Let me go over here. To be clear, this is the schoolgirl we're actually talking about right now. Yeah, she's on a bed not wearing much in a sexy, provocative pose. Yes. Moving into Troughton. Victoria, easy. Too innocent. By the way, I like me laughing. Match me laughing. Closest to the end of her run. Like, she's like scared and she needs, Victoria's easy.
Did you see this video? Because
you literally just showed it. Dude, you literally just showed it.
It's frankly disgusting that this man is even allowed to be even up on YouTube.
Oh, so weird. Somebody else who has a different outlook to you, right? A normative heterosexual one, also shouldn't be allowed. Really?
It's so disgusting. I can't believe that.
Okay, dude, you've never had a long-term relationship. I don't think you've ever had sex, frankly. You've never had children. You don't have much life experience, which is why you're a clueless twat.
That YouTube would continue to allow this filth on you.
Okay, doesn't the fact that they would continue to allow this filth indicate that you're wrong and it's not filth? No! YouTube's wrong! I'm right about everything! Yeah, you know Trump's going to be president again, don't you?
YouTube that somebody who expresses views about wanting to fuck a 15-year-old girl.
Again, she wasn't 15. And in no way did she look 15 in any way, shape, or form. Okay, this is the song going through this guy's head. What do I? Yeah, this is the thing he can't stop thinking about.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Yeah! I know this guy's going to be watching this video, and now put Trump on. He's lost his mind.
And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame.
The Normans were freaked out about this big time. It's so funny. Like, this is what goes on that guy's head.
They're eating the dogs.
Ali, replace the picture of Trump with me, right? That's what's going on.
To be here up on YouTube. He's even expressed, he's even called other people groomers when he himself wants to fuck 15-year-old Victoria Waterfield. Hey.
Again, wasn't 15. And, to say a woman is attractive and sexual congress with them would be pleasurable isn't grooming, right? Try to tell kids that to cut their dicks off might be a little bit groomy.
You might say, oh, she's a fictional character. It doesn't matter.
She is a fictional character.
Her actress is 19 or 20 years old. It doesn't matter. In universe, she's 15 years old.
Again, show me your source for that. If she wasn't. You're 100% lying. Your source of that is Mr. Trilby, right? Who's a cunt.
And then when he posts the thumbnail of the sexualized Victoria Waterfield in a sexy schoolgirl outfit, like when you think of a schoolgirl, you're thinking it's a child.
No. Again. You're thinking of that because you're sexually inexperienced, and I would say inadequate.
Child, you're sexualizing a child, dude.
Yeah, no. You're just a hateful cunt retard, and I don't mean that a retard in the actual sense. I mean it in the derogatory, insulting sense. People with retardation are generally speaking much nicer than you.
It's disgusting.
So we're like 10 minutes in, he hasn't made a point yet.
And the fact that Ian even wants to associate with Tzvi Lebetkin.
Tzvi Lebetkin. Who is this Tzvi Lebetkin? Are you Tzvi Lebetkin? You've never, ever... I mean, again, this guy is so full of shit.
It's just, wow. You're supporting somebody who's pedophile.
Okay, so you've gone... So now I'm a pedophile. Who have I raped? Specifically. Was there ever any police report? Again, the aching stupidity of this person is beyond me. Right? Is absolutely here. If I get, I'll give you the off. Everybody can head over there and report this for targeted harassment. I think this is it. He's like literally calling me a pedophile.
And then, yeah, look at this thumbnail.
Say, this is the problem because it's funny and it takes a piss out of you.
Hey, instead of doing delightful adventures in time and space, why don't we do a bunch of queer stories instead? How?
I know. And how'd that work out for you? Oh, right. Lowest rated Doctor Who of all time.
How many queer stories did we even have in Doctor Who?
Well, if you had Shooty Gutwer in it, it was a queer story because Shooty Gutwer can't play anything other than super duper duper queer all the time. But if you want to say explicit references, then you would have Star Beast, you would have The Giggle, which had Yasmin Finney in it, you would have Church on Ruby Road, I've Been Snowman, and again more trans weirdness. And then Space Babies wasn't, I mean, it was queer because there's Shooty Gutwer in it. Boom was I would say hateful towards religion. It's queer adjacent, right? But again, I'm up to 3 out of 5 stories. Oh wait, then you got what's the name? Devil's Cord, which was shit. You got Rogue. So wait, I'm up to 5 stories out of the how many they done? 12. All right, and then you got Yasmin Finney. 7 stories, right? 7 stories. So yes, that's the majority. Also,
let's see.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Let's see. We had.
It's taking too long. Come on,
18th Doctor. So I don't see why he thinks there's sexual preponderance or
because of sexual preponderance in Doctor. Because the actual sexual preponderance and why do I think that? I don't know. Here, 1 second. Maybe this clip will you know. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Maybe this clip might show you where I came up with this wacky idea. Right, that it's other than saying we're doing queer stories, right? Like relentlessly, maybe something like this. Why is he sexually gyrating? Yeah, that's a queer story.
I'll tell you what, when we both get out of this,
let's butt fuck each other. Yeah, that's a queer story, darling. That makes it a queer story.
They're pushing a trans agenda in this when it's just wow, they're just there. So it's
so let me ask you a question then. If they had a priest, like a Catholic priest, as the companion, Father Ed, who was always showed in positive light and was always giving over ideas from Scripture and was just a good personal all-rounder, and then they went to the Eucharist. You know, in the TARDIS, would that be Christian story? I think you would have a meltdown, wouldn't you? I think this guy would, because he's a fucking moron and a hypocrite, as all morons are.
It's apparently a problem, but apparently,
well, darling, have you seen the viewing figures? So apparently, it's a problem for most of the fucking planet, right? Because is it going down well? Is it working out for you, darling? No, I don't think it is it? Again, the lowest rated Doctor Who of all time, and the most expensive, right? And the biggest hype, and the most hullabaloo around it all. And it's been a complete and total fucking failure. Judy Gatwick is probably fired by now, right? Or I can't imagine there's going to be a third season with him, but I don't know. Look, people, I can't imagine Kathleen Kennedy wouldn't get fired, but I guess she wasn't, right? You know, it's like we live in wacky times.
Ian just existing isn't political, but a trans person existing is a problem for Ian for some reason, or
yes, because the vast majority of the world don't believe your ideology that women can have penises. Okay, it's an ideological point you're making, and just say they're just existing. Yeah, okay. So it's like me saying God just exists. The Ten Commandments exist. You just got to do the Ten Commandments. They just exist, right? My worldview exists. You guys got to do it. Yeah, no.
Or a gay kiss happening is a problem for Ian.
Yeah, no, a gay kiss happening in Doctor Who is a fucking problem. Yeah, you're right, because most people want Doctor Who not to be about queer stories. Right? He's like, there's no queer stories, and he lists off all the queer stories.
For whatever reason. It's not.
For whatever reason.
Should not be a problem.
In your infantile, batshit crazy, full of shit mind, I guess it isn't. But this guy has a problem understanding that he's not the world. In fact, he's in a tiny minority. And again, I want to be clear. No one's saying that gay people can't exist, right? Or trans people can't exist, so they should be round up into camps. I'm just saying that Doctor Who shouldn't be a platform for any minorities' worldview, right? At the exclusion of all the other people in the world, right? Doctor Who used to be inclusive, right? Used to be pro everyone. Now it's just queer stories. And the trouble is, when you do a queer story, it's only ever about being queer. It's never about the story.
But yeah, this whole thing was Tzvi Lebetkin, Rabbi from another planet. He's a bullshit artist.
What? Okay, specifically, what am I bullshitting about? Everything I say, I believe. Like, I think you're a infantile, moronic twat, and I'm not saying that to get clicks. I'm saying that because I think you are an infantile, moronic, bigoted twat. Right? That's what I believe. That's genuinely my thought. It's not a grift. It's not a con. I'm not pretending. I think you are an infantile, bigoted, moron twat.
He likes to pull shit out of his ass, and he loves to...
I don't like pulling shit out of my ass. I mean, I do like to defecate when I have to defecate, but no, that's not my favorite thing. Pulling shit out of my ass? No, not really.
Scream woke and such.
Woke! No, I don't do that either, right? I don't do that. I do point out why things are woke and give a rather strong, cogent argument, which is, again, what fucks off little pussy fucks like this, right?
Calling for that gay characters are terrible and everything, and they should.
What characters are terrible? You know,
scream woke and such. Calling for that gay characters are terrible. And
gay characters are terrible? I don't know. I like Captain Jack. Why would I hate gay characters? Where are you getting this from? Right? Again, sheer ignorance, which is where all bigotry comes from.
Everything. And they shouldn't be doing this in my Doctor Who. Not in my Doctor Who.
Well, again, I seem to represent the view of the majority, given that the ratings are the worst ever. Why do you think that is? Oh, Netflix? No. It's because people are done. Did you not hear about Bud Light, right? How's Bud Light sales going right now? I think they closed the parts, right? Bud Light's in the toilet. You know why? Because people are sick of you screaming your batshit bonkers religion at everybody at every given turn, and then say when people go, oh, I don't really follow your religion, but live and let live. Ah, bigot! Bigot, bigot! No, not everybody has to follow your fucking religion.
Ugh. Sickening that these people are able to exist.
Okay. Now, I've gone from being a rabbi, a Jewish rabbi, to being somebody who is morally repugnant because I want to fuck a hot 18-year-old, to being a pedophile, to being need to be deplatformed, and now I can't exist. Right? Throw me into the ovens, right? How about that's what you're saying? Here, step into a shower, right? It'll be fine. Don't worry about the gas, and then get in the fucking ovens. That's literally what this cunt is saying.
All right, grifters are freaking terrible. And then this is from a post on his Facebook. Unfortunately, if Russell T Davies does not go back to telling dramatic science fiction classics once again,
it's not dramatic, you fucking nitwit. Dramatic, not just like if not Tzvi Lebetkin, it's also not dramatic.
Of gay and trans politics, this show is surely doomed as it was in 1989.
Well, again, that's just what the data says, mate.
So he just totally forgot about Torchwood and
No. Yeah, again, when you don't understand something, it's because you're a nitwit. It's because you're an imbecile. It's not because somebody else is stupid. It's because you are stupid, right? It's qualitatively different. That wasn't. I mean, firstly, Torchwood was it, so it was an adult show. Wasn't Doctor Who. Whenever it had Captain Jack in Doctor Who, I don't remember it being highly sexualized as it was in Torchwood, right? But no, if you want to do a separate queer show in the Doctor Who universe, that's fine. No one's complaining with it. I don't think you'll get many people to watch it, which is why that you have to slap the Doctor Who logo on it to get people to watch it.
Captain Jack Harkness.
I personally love Captain Jack Harkness, right? I love Torchwood as well.
Totally forgot about Jack and Alonzo or
No, nobody forgot about it, right? Literally nobody forgot about it. You just don't understand because you're a fuckwit.
Jack and Iato or any of this stuff. He just completely forgets about this stuff. This is before Russell T Davies even came back.
Yeah, it was a different writer back then. A good writer, a successful writer.
So he's just gonna forget about all this stuff. Because this
again, look at this guy not understanding something and then not being able to cope.
Was the show doomed when they brought in Captain Jack, or was the show doomed when they did this stuff in Torchwood?
Again, why you conflate? It's like conflating gay people with trans people. What's the connection?
Also, because Chris Chibnall wrote a lot of Torchwood stuff, and people were
weirdly the Chris Chibnall Torchwood stuff was quite good. Right, I was actually quite surprised about that.
Fine with that, and all of a sudden, people are giving shit to Chris Chibnall for his terrible time on.
I mean, you've literally just said the scripts of Jodie Whittaker were unbelievably bad, and now you're praising Chris Chibnall for the same scripts
during his tenure. So, what is it, Ian? Are you just going to be hypocritical? I remember I specifically.
He's so fucking stupid. Oh my god! It's actually painful how stupid this guy is.
I remember you loving Captain Jack Harkness back.
I got whiz forward.
Endlessly tragic. In future, I must really.
Okay, let's go back to him reading it.
When you were supposed to be asking about Torchwood. Continuing with this stuff, what has happened to it is horrendously tragic. In future, I must really.
I do this reading. You should really be able to do this.
I learned to be much more careful for what I wish for. Tragically, it was me who wished for his return after Jodie Whittaker. And look at the shit we are in now. A cesspit of shit.
It wouldn't say it that way.
The only person who's in the cesspit of shit is you, because you keep complaining about this shit.
Wait. So if you're in a cesspit of shit and you don't complain about being in a cesspit of shit, you're not in a cesspit of shit. Is that like saying if I say I'm a girl and I have a penis, I'm a girl? That's that sort of thing.
The fact that Ian even wants to associate with somebody like this, it's disgusting. His thumbnails and such are fucking disgusting.
What bothers me about my thumbnails is I'm taking the piss out of you and you don't like it and you're crying like a fucking bitch.
Ian continues to be a complete tool bag, and I'm not understanding any nuances or anything or any.
Yeah, he's not understanding. That's what's going on.
Thing about how about a gay character isn't political. He keeps thinking they're putting gay and trans politics in. No, this is just normal everyday life, Ian. Gay.
No, it's not normal day everyday life. Most women don't have penises.
People and trans people exist.
Yes, I understand they exist, right? There are trans people are a teeny minority, and the idea that you're trying to instill that the kink of cross dressing and public cross dressing is not appropriate for a family audience. Weird, that isn't it? Weird.
Existing is not a political message. It's just them being there.
No, you're just too dumb to see it because you're a fuckwit.
I don't know how that's so hard for a lot of these right-wing grifters.
Yeah, the reason he doesn't know it's so hard because I commented on it and he deleted the comment. Said, come on my channel, talk whenever you want. Because they won't talk to anybody not like them because they're terrified of being wrong.
To understand.
And they're pussies.
Ian always said always says he's comparable to Joe Biden or the Democratic nominee for president right now, Vice President Kamala Harris. But
how's he comparable to that? Okay.
Ian Levine is more and more, the more and more he talks or runs his mouth, he more and more sounds like Donald Trump.
Now, Ian hates Donald Trump. I would think he would. I think that presidency worked out good for most people. World peace and best economy of our lives. Ian hates him with every fiber of his being, right? There's absolutely detests him, right? People are different. Although I love Ian Levine so much, I would never get in his face about it. I really wouldn't, because look, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and he's mad. Ian Levine hates him whoa. There's no opposition on the Ian Levine hating Donald Trump. He absolutely detests him in every way, shape, and form.
And that's all I have to say about that. Thank you guys so much for watching this.
Okay, well, that went on longer than I thought. I'm sorry, I got sucked into taking the piss. What can I tell you? It does happen, and I'm like an hour and 15 minutes in. I forgot the chat. That's terrible. This is an all-time record, right? This is the worst I've ever been. I'm sorry. I apologize. Scarlett, glad to see you. I don't know what he's talking about either. I think you look lovely. So the evidence is clear. I'm not going to get to that. I hope so. Doctor Who is guilty as sin. Very well put and quite right too, Scarlett. Take them away! Colin Archer, who was the first, way back in time. Oh, Dan is there. How you doing, Dan? Thank you for joining us. Go to Facebook and sign up. Is it Facebook or Type 40? Whatever the other one is. Oh, Darren is here, and he's commenting from Rumble. Now, Rumble has that upgraded, and I can now get the comments from there, which is pretty darn good. So Darren and Lonnie, Jonathan Cox is here. I've really got to go quickly through the chat, although I'll stop and see if people are talking to me. Classico Bondage. I don't know what that is, but I think I might like it. Wait, Yes, the biggest crime of Doctor Who was not making the Doctor a lady who isn't me. Oh, Eki Thump sooner. Oh, Eki Thump. Yeah, they're making a fair point. Can I agree with this? Scarlett Johansson or Yvonne Strahovski? Scarlett Johansson. Not even close. Look, Yvonne Strahovski is she's a very beautiful person, but she's got increasingly less hot as the older she's got, even though she's still very beautiful. Scarlett Johansson is still like a bouncy castle, although she got infected with feminism. Maybe she grows her hair again. I don't know. Put some makeup on, make yourself look like Scarlett. It's probably a good idea. Tzvi Lebetkin, with all those religious ceremonies for eating, you guys are sounding more like the Minbari. Not wrong there. We are boneheads too. What's it? Tzvi Lebetkin said, "How is the divining dragon?" I knew I missed somebody. What are we up to? Fine. I'm like 4 minutes into the chat. Look at this. Tzvi Lebetkin, is that music clip in your title something detective? Yes, it is. I went on a whole bender about that. Thanks again for last night, says Dan. Well, you know, I am a virile rabbi. No, it was a lot of fun. Go check out that stream. We reviewed Beetlejuice. We talked about pop culture stuff. Oh, and the worst thing about during the chat yesterday, I saw John Hewlett, right? I've seen him a few times on Dan's channel, but I didn't really remember his name. And I saw him on a chat. I didn't know who he was, right? And then I was on a stream with him. I meant to say, "Oh, John, were you just in my chat? I'm sorry. I really got to like follow him on Twitter and say hello, right?" Paul Tozen's here. Government want it pushed through as more elderly, the more elderly dead means the less they have to pay out in pension. Yeah, this government is just evil scum, right? One may consider Lammy an example of the not sending their best, except consider he is their best. Whatever anyone says, far right, my first response is in relation to what? Right, the last douchebag. They're not that far right at all. CNA closed down years ago. Well, look, I left England in 91. What do you want? Like, yeah, a long time ago. Next, you want them to buy a suits at Jackson the Tailor. Well, how about man at CNA? Go to Grace Brothers. I should have said Grace Brothers. That would have been clever. He clears never listened to any of it. So yes, or he will be able to pronounce your name. I said, oh my God, the Prime Minister's salary is 167,000 a year plus expenses. Is that clothes? Fuck me. The Chancellor claimed £4,000 for heating her constituency office during the previous 5 years of the parliamentary term. But fuck those elderly. Listen. If you want to be looked after by Labour, you had to vote Labour, right? That's what the two-tier Labour means, right? Vote Labour or be fucked over and sent to jail, right? It was in the because there was just male and female in the doctor's wife. Yeah, but that's where it started to come in, right? It just enough already. It was Missy, says Nathan Huggins. Now, but the thing with Missy was that the doctor didn't recognize Missy because she changed gender, right? And Time Lords couldn't do that, right? So you can say the same thing. Fine. Oh, I thought Missy was great. Who the hell does he think he is to say a gay man has internalized homophobia to show all gay people must think alike is homophobic? The guy is the biggest racist. Hey, then Problem Being. Well, Problem Being came up with a good idea for a James Bond movie with both Timothy Dalton and Pierce Brosnan. But I can't remember what it was. I didn't remember going, that sounds awesome! I was replying to it. It did. It sounded awesome, right? I thought that was very good. There was a short storyline in the 1980s when the Doctor was regenerating and he took on the kin of one of his previous companions to see what it was like to be a woman, but it was a 2-minute show. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Problem Being came in just at the wrong time. That guy's going to make him crazy. Who is this American guy here? I'll find out 1 second. I'll give you the link to his video. Yeah, could just go ahead and report it for here, I'll give you the link directly to the video. Just go ahead and report it for targeted harassment. Oh, I'd love this guy to get a strike. That would be lovely, right? That would be so funny. Where are we up to here? Do I put this in the chat? There you go. Derek Mullen is here. An example of somebody who thinks he is important. Yeah, it's much better to think you're not important. Life is better that way. Okay, I'm catching up. I'm only about half hour behind now. Fly Highland is here doing Hi Fly Highland. Homosexuality doesn't really exist. LGBTQIA activists. I'm not wading in there, but I'm pretty sure it does exist. I think there's quite a few videos you might be able to find on the interwebs proving homosexuality exists. I love Captain Jack, said Catherine and Thee. Everybody loved Captain Jack. It was a great character, right? We're up to the woke mind virus. Literally makes us a sense of humor impossible. It does. Yeah. Sorry, you are the YouTuber complaining about people trying to attract watch. I mean, yeah, this is completely clickbait, but why me, right? Why the two rabbis? It's all that. Tell you, my wife's nightmare, my fantasy. Actually, no. Ooh. If I'm having a threesome, it's with two women. It's not with me and another me. I'm a one penis person in my sexual fantasies. One penis only, right? Not up to the multiple penis. Ethan Buckholder is here. How you doing, Ethan? Thank you for joining us. David Mullen said hello to you. The Rabbi's actually lasting over an actress. Not just any actress, an insanely hot actress. I mean, like, I think that's fair. Fine with it. Ian Levine says Steve, he's explored. Do you think I'll be watching a pedo? But for one thing's for certain, even under 1 a.m. DT, I don't know what I mean. Tzvi could sue you into the ground for calling a pedo. You can't say, oh yeah, but it's too much bloody trouble. I mean, it's easier to take the piss. Garbage is here. How you doing, Garbage? Thank you for joining us. Fine. Well, we're nearly there. We're nearly caught up with the chat, and then I can move on. I'm sorry, I'm so late. Right? I got sucked into that, right? Which is I think how Russell Davis can say he got sucked into shooting Gatwa. I said, well, yeah, that's going to work. Paul TARDIS Time is here. How you doing, TARDIS Time? Thank you for joining us. Him not saying any nuances, probably the most accurate thing he said. I know. Never. We have a word we have a Jewish word in Yiddish. Never. Kind of a sad little guy. Tzvi, did the kid give? Tzvi did give the kid's name at the beginning of the segment. I have to go back and see what it is. 1 second. What's his name? Where is it? Oh, so it is the Game Center. Whoever he is, I don't know. But again, he's got like 16,000 subscribers. He must have paid for them, right? He must have paid for them, right? And Darren M said something to with the per the previous article. Oh, fine, that's the link to it. So Russell didn't get sucked in. Well, I think he did, right? And I think he said, "Well, this is awesome. More of that, please." Right? More of that. Right? With that done, let's move on. I really want to talk about more Ian Levine stuff as it happens. I want to talk about Web of Fear 3, which I watched on Friday, and I thought was excellent, right? Oh my God. I got sent the first 5 minutes of 10th Planet 4. That's awesome, right? That's awesome. So the good thing about these ones is you could just, I think you could, like if you're watching a like a four-part story that's missing an episode, if it's replaced with one of those things, one of the Ian Levine things, it kind of fits in kind of seamlessly, right? It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn close, I have to tell you. Fine, before we get there, there's an article I saw which I really want to get to. Am I going down the wrong track doing this? I mean, it was on my headline. I'm like, I really should get to this story. I mean, it's literally on my headline. I know. Well, I want to talk about the Ian Levine stuff. I'm sorry. Here, let me go over here. Doink. There you go. There we go. So Fraser Hine watches Ian Levine's AI Web of Fear 3 Part 3 today at Audio Sirens event in Melbourne. That I found fascinating, and he liked it a lot, right? He liked it a lot because it was very good. Now, I'm allowed to show you bits of it, but I want to show it to you compared to the official BBC version, which is so bad, right? It's it's just such an incredible failure, right? Such a failure. I can't understand how it was released. Look, the way we looked at Jodie scripts and said these things just aren't professional. Like how on earth are they being released? And they were released anyway, right? Hang on, it's opening up. Same thing with this. So we're looking at Web of Fear, and I'd say Web of Fear probably one of my favorite Troughton stories. It's way up there. It's really one of the best, right? It's genuinely one of the best. Should we look at the color one? We'll look at the color one for a minute or two as well, because I never watched the color. I only watched the black and white. Although, did they have? Oh, they don't have Chandler's face in it. Let's get here. This is a fire. So this is a quite a good bit. I mean, like,
Doctor, is that you?
I'm like, why are they walking so weirdly?
One moment.
Victoria. Oh, Doctor, my goodness, I found you. All right.
Well,
let's look at the black and white one. I think I'm being unfair. We should look at the black and white one. Shit. share a video file. There we go. Doink. And the thing is, there's no facial acting in this or expression, and the movements are just dire. Just look how the bodies move. It's like Grand Theft Auto from 1992.
What brought the intelligence back again?
Well, it was my wretched curiosity, I'm afraid. You see, when I came back from Tibet, I brought quite a bit of stuff with me, you know.
Okay, so that's what they're trying to do, and as you can see, it's a total failure. So I want to show you that when I feel it works, and so I'm going to compare it to the Celestial Toymaker, which was done as a fan thing by Callum Weston, I believe, Callum Weston, and there it actually works because Callum knows how to do this essentially. Second, Celestial Toy Room, yeah, this is it.
The following
piece at a time.
That is.
You see, I mean, do you see how the stillness works a lot better, and the direction works a lot better here?
And you must rearrange them in the same order that they are now on point C.
And I am not permitted.
Whiz forward to like where more things are actually happening. But again, you get some great facial acting from this as well. Which
Competitive quest.
Quest? What quest?
The hunt for the TARDIS.
It's all quite simple. You start here, blindfold.
You must be joking. Kids' game.
Stephen, go on. You have to cross these obstacles.
So this looks more like rotoscoping for me. It feels like the animated Lord of the Rings, right? So let's juxtapose that with the Ian Levine AI ones. Now, here's the thing. The only real thought I found in the Ian Levine version is that it looks like I was watching it. It looked like it looked like lost footage, right? It looked like where they find the lost footage. You have like the little clips. And I was like, wait, is this lost footage or is this AI? And then it took me a minute to work out. Wait, this is AI, right? So I was like, wow, right? One second. Now, but where it fails is when they, I think fail is a strong word. When you put the pieces, there's two things that are somewhat problematic, I think. When you put two different pieces of like this faux lost footage together, the join is bumpy, right? It's not smooth, right? So there's that, and also there's a couple of times where they're using the same image repeated over a few times. Oh, here, this is a scene we just saw, right? I think you might see the issue here, but again, it's really clever because they animated Victoria here again, very shaggable as always. Victoria Waterfield here, and I think they put it onto they had a static background, so it made it work a bit better.
Doctor, is that you?
One moment.
Yeah, you see that joint? That's the joint where I would say about 75% of it though, perfect.
Victoria. Oh, Doctor, my goodness, I found it. I'm all right.
Well.
Who's this?
All right, let's whiz forward to when they're talking to Travis. Oh yeah, again, look at him talking to Travis. This is extraordinary.
Cheeky. But how? That's what I can't understand. What brought the intelligence back again?
Well, it was my wretched curiosity, I'm afraid. You see, when I came back from Tibet, I brought quite a bit of stuff with me, you know, broken.
So this feels like I'm watching the original episode, right? There's none of this weird movements, right? Yeah, that's it. Can I pull up the? Yeah, I think I can pull them both up. I'll put them side by side. Web of Fear. Web of Fear 3. You know, I could be mean and just put the color one on, which is like way worse, right? But yeah, I want to give it like the best showing possible because there's no need to be mean about it. So this is how much in now? This is 8 minutes 37 in. Look here, compare these two. It's ridiculous.
What brought the intelligence back again?
Well, it was my wretched curiosity, I'm afraid. You see, when I came back from Tibet, I brought quite a bit of stuff with me, you know, broken Yeti, bits of controls.
So it fails in every way, this, right? The expressions are terrible, the models are terrible, the movement is terrible. Every part of it fails, whereas compared to this...
Beers and things like it. Oh, the monks, very too glad to see the back of it. Yes, and then, my dear fellow, one of the controls...
So, yeah, you just saw one of the cuts that I don't think work completely.
Beers was intact. So, naturally, I wanted to find out how it worked.
Oh, dear.
And I fiddled with the thing on and off for years, and then...
Right, again, so I think you could put... If you watch Web of Fear, and Web of Fear is, genuinely speaking, one of the best trans stories I've ever seen. Oh, yeah, this guy has a great moment in it. Check this out.
Right.
Sorry about it.
Right, let's get down to some constructive thinking.
Weems, I'd like some information there.
No, again, and he's doing this out of his own pocket. I do think it's a fantastic joke. This is a service for all Doctor Who fans, in the same way that saving the, saving the original stories in the 70s was a service for all Doctor Who fandom. And yeah, where there is room for this to improve, there's room for anything to improve, but where there is room for this to improve, it's wherever we're going with AI, this is a very important stepping stone, right? This is a very like whatever the future AI will bring, it would be impossible if Ian Levine wasn't doing this right now. Yeah, this I find incredible. Look at it. So I guess they generated a Yeti via AI, then animated it, you think?
Doctor, sorry to have been so long, but I've got your blowing up thingamajig. Here we are.
Good.
I mean, see what I mean about it? It looks like a bunch of, what's the word? Sensor clips, right? They cut stuff off for it being too scary.
Fine. This should do the trick. It's both timing and contact.
Well, I think Victoria's right.
Well, no.
So I think you could probably put on Web of Fear, watch episodes 1 through to 6, and you wouldn't really notice the bits where it doesn't work. It will just feel like you're watching one seamless story. Right? I mean, just, again, fantastic.
We've dealt with the explosives here, and I'm willing to bet they'll do the same with those at Holborn as well.
Maybe.
I think you're wasting your time now, Colonel.
Yes. Still, at least there's a chance. We must...
So, I think this definitely strikes me as a wave of the future, right? This strikes me as the way to go. More of this, please. I mean, honestly, if you could marry this with like the Callum Weston animation somehow, and I have no idea how, right? I have no idea how to do it. Then I think you'll be in really incredible territory. But I think this is again, if you want to watch classic Doctor Who, that's not here. This is the way to do it. AI is getting better, says Divining Dragon. By the 2040s, I think they'll be able to do perfect recreations. I think by the 2030s, frankly. Right? I mean, I can't wait till I can make my own movies and TV shows with it. I just saw that Buck Rogers is out of copyright. Right? I would totally make my own Buck Rogers. Right? 100%. Yeah. Speaking of AI, check this out. Where is it? No, not eating the dogs, which I'm obsessed with. Yeah, this is very cool.
So I was cruising down Alpha Centauri in the 6-4, that is my TARDIS, when suddenly a temporal rift took hold. And by temporal rift, I'm talking temporal rift. That is to say, tempers got too high in the universe, and we all got to squeezing gats like maniacs. I looked in the mirror like fucking hell, what's become of me? I'm basically a Dalek now, Just a bit better looking, if you catch my stellar drift. This is what the life does to you, and I'm only 750 years old. Full-blown...
I mean, this is just bonkers.
And quarter-life time crisis. And then bang. This huge wormhole appeared and sucked me in like a Henry Hoover that I couldn't outmaneuver. Was twisting and turning and rumbling and tumbling. Cloister bell was hollering and I couldn't clock for what. I had...
So again, look, this is an experiment, and it's not very Doctor Who-y. But, like, it's going to... By the way, do I still have the 5 Doctors? With what's his name? Or did I get rid of that clip? Because I didn't think it was very good. Because they have the... Yeah, let me try and find it. I've got to YouTube's. Because they have the 5 Doctors, and somebody face swapped William Hartnell onto Richard Handel. And I watched it, I was like, it doesn't really look that good, right? Frankly. But then somebody told me, no, watch the end of it. Right? And that's it. Let me just search William Hartnell. Oh, well, search web history. William Hartnell. Let's have a look. Am I spelling it right? There you go. Fine, I got to download it again. Because I watched like the beginning of it. I was like, it's disappointing because it's not as good as I wanted it to be. Right? And I really wanted it to be better. Here, let me pull it up. There you go. So I'm going to start later on in this clip.
You two can do with stump me, do you? Let's have a look. What's this? So that's what it's all about.
Okay, that's working. Although, you won't be cool doing this with Peter Cushing's.
It changes nothing. Absolutely nothing. We know.
I mean, it's not great. It's still not great. And honestly, the AI voice they're doing with this, I know how to do it better. Right? They've taken voice samples from William Hartnell, and they should have cleaned them up using AI before they fed them into the voice cloning generator thing. Right, but at least this looks...
the force field, get the unfilled back from Gallifrey if all go home. This doesn't concern us. It mustn't.
Do not transmit further. Stay...
Okay, it's totally getting better now. Look at this.
Stay where you are and touch nothing.
Touch nothing, indeed? Who does he think he is?
He didn't want us to mention the ring of Rassilon. Natural enough.
That's perfect. Okay, that's really perfect.
Something's wrong, you know. You haven't changed. Still finding menace in your own shadow?
I feel the shame.
Well, we shall soon see, won't we? He's after the ring of Rassilon. He wants immortality.
And you were the one who didn't sense anything was wrong.
He's a renegade.
Oh, man, that voice is really throwing me off.
No better than that film down there.
We can't allow it, you know.
The tomb was sealed for the best of reasons.
And as soon as we're back to our own time streams, it must be sealed again.
Just clean up the voice before you generated it. I know exactly what they did wrong.
Permanently.
Doctor!
Although he does look better than he did in 3 Doctors.
We need you. Join us.
He can't. Some kind of mind lock. Fight it, my boy, fight it. Concentrate.
They got to be a way of cleaning up that AI, making it better.
We must be one.
Because the visuals right now are perfect. Whiz forward to see something actually happening.
That was the voice in Rassilon. It's out of our hands now.
These are my servants.
Is it so?
The special edition they did for the season 20 Blu-ray release, way better.
It most certainly is not. Don't believe him. It's nonsense.
Don't listen to them, Lord Rassilon. President Barusa speaks the truth.
You believe that...
So this has always been my hard-on to get to make reconstructions. What AI cleaning tool do you use? Let's go to. You use Adobe Enhance. I use 11 Labs. 11 Labs has a lot of very cool stuff in it now.
Barusa deserves the immortality he seeks.
Indeed, I do.
So what they should have done is take voice clips from William Hartnell, clean them up. Again, AI has 11 Labs has tools that you can do that, right? And then clone the voice. Yeah, and then it would have worked so much better because, like, you can hear it when it goes between the different soundtracks.
He shall have it.
I do like the music there where he gets zapped into stone. They one of the unmade Doctor Who movie scripts from the 90s, the one that's going to be directed, I think, by Leonard Nimoy. There's a sequence here where they break into the tomb of Rassilon, right? And a guy gets turned into stone.
And what of you, doctors? Do you claim immortality too?
That's no, my lord.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I suddenly realized what the old proverb meant. To lose is to win, and he who wins shall lose. It was all part of Rassilon's trap to find out who wanted immortality and put him out of the way. It's reassuring to know that my future is in safe hands.
Yeah, again, Uncanny Valley says, Colin, you're right. You are right. But that's frustrated me because I know it could be done better, right? Speaking of things could be done better. Let's have a look at this. Man, whizzing through things tonight. There we go. The top 10 crimes of Doctor Who, right? 10 things that must never happen in Doctor Who. American Doctor, fundamentally disagree with that. I do fundamentally disagree with that. Let's see what they go. Release an entire season at once. Oh, man, I wish they did that with shooting. Okay, listen. One of the many, 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 many mistakes they made with the current era, other than making it queer, was the rollout, right? It was available at midnight in England on iPlayer, and then it was at 7 o'clock or whatever time on BBC. Dumb idea, right? It should have dropped at 7 o'clock on BBC and iPlayer and Disney Plus simultaneously. You would have had a global watch along. If it wasn't shit, you would have had global watch alongs, right? And it would have been huge. But Disney only releases stuff on Fridays and Wednesdays, so. Or Tuesday. I don't know. It's just like, it's the dumbest thing, right? It was the dumbest thing. Season 1 midnight release strategy was controversial to fans and a total failure who didn't want to stay up late night and avoid spoilers. Well, it's good for me because I saw it as soon as Sabbath came out. Bad for me because I saw it as soon as Sabbath came out. I saw it, who didn't wait up to stay up to avoid spoilers. Where's Christmas this year? Yeah, let's have a look. December 25th, 2024. What day is that on? What day is Christmas this year? It is Wednesday. Fine. So I'll be able to watch it live. There you go. Which, again, I'm not overly excited about. Well, yeah, what can you do? Doink. Where are we up to? And in fact, the UK audience felt like being treated like second-class citizens because they were. But look on the bright side. Imagine a whole season dropped on iPlayer and Disney in one go. Well, the binge-watch strategy works well as sitcoms and miniseries. It doesn't work for Doctor Who. Well, the point of Doctor Who is you have a different setting each story, right? Essentially, every episode is a unique adventure taking place. Well, yeah, that you know what really highlighted how dumb it was to put. How non-binge watchable it was, putting The Devil's Cord and Space Babies out at the same time. Well, binge watching strategy works really well for sitcoms and miniseries. It just doesn't work for Doctor Who. Every episode is a unique adventure taking place in a completely new location with almost entirely new cast. Each episode of Doctor Who is a mini movie to be savored. Not episode story, I would say. If we got the Doctor as one chunk of 8 episodes, the temptation would be to skip the filler episode. No, it wouldn't. I mean, the temptation would be to skip all of it, frankly. Episodes that go straight to the finale. Why? Were you imbecile? Midnight release of single episode wasn't the most ideal change, no. But at least it ensured that everyone was on the same page week to week. Yeah, okay. So it wasn't as shitty as it could have been, so therefore it's good. No, shitty is shitty, mate. Releasing a whole season in one go, however, would be a disaster for the show. I bet they're going to do that with season 2. I bet, like, they're just dumb, right? They're just dumb. Enter the Doctorverse. Well, I thought I was up for like the whole Hooniverse, right? I thought that would be really cool, and it's just so corporate and boring. I mean, why didn't they make that Hooniverse logo based around the Tom Baker tunnel, like, or some kind of time tunnel? But no, we just got to make like every other boring piece of shit. Doctor is now part of the Walt Disney Corporation. Not for long, right? Which means, which loves mining and intellectual property for all it's worth. David Tennant's 14th Doctor may be having lunch in his garden, but that doesn't mean he won't answer a call from the Mickey Mouse a few years down the line. He won't answer a call because Mickey Mouse isn't calling. That probably the only way to... I hadn't thought this before. Probably the only way to keep Disney on board will be to bring David Tennant back for an extended period, right? I can't see them wanting to sign up for anything less, right? Frankly, and even that, I don't know. On top of that, Bi-Generation apparently created a Doctorverse where the old Doctors also bi-generated and can continue to have adventures. And yeah, the annoying thing is, that's nothing to do with the Tales from the TARDIS. That's all like remembered TARDIS stuff, right? It's nothing to do with bi-generation of them all waking up at a different time. The risk is here that the show could start to get way too complicated for its own good. It already has done. Bi-generation fucked it, right? Bi-generation fucked it in the ass. Even more than it arguably is. The idea that the Doctor multiverse, where every regeneration is a bi-generation and the past Doctors grow old in separate timelines, oh, fuck me. But this is exactly what they did. I don't know what to tell you. You're like, this would be bad when they did that. This is what they did, though. Okay. Not only will getting to doctory risk alienating casual viewers. You don't have any casual viewers anymore. They think you're shit. Even the mighty MCU wasn't immune to the effects of convoluted multiverse saga. No, it wasn't immune to the effect of hating white straight people. Right? That's what it wasn't immune to the effect of, which is why they fired all their woke producers. Well, what does woke mean anyway? Do you have a P45? Means it's you, right? But going too far into the Doctorverse will destroy the finality and power of regeneration. You've already done that. I'm sorry, you've already done that. You fucked it over, right? By all means, find those pockets of time to have new adventures with past Doctors. 11 centuries on Trenzalore, for example. Go away. Yeah, it was about it. I love these are things that must never happen, which probably will happen. The Doctor is a god. Well, I don't like saying the word a god because I believe God to be infinite, which means God is the only thing, right? There's only one God, and the only thing is God, right? Because everything is part of an infinite. Doctor has flirted with the idea of revealing that our protagonist is some all-powerful godlike being, but it always pulls back from at the brink. Yeah, it's pretty true. The 80s script editor, Andrew Cartmel, always ended the Doctor was going to be something more than a Time Lord, but the show was cancelled before it could be done any further. Well, fuckwit. Have you heard of Lung Barrow? Hang on. Doctor Who Long Barrow. And I don't know why Big Finish haven't made an adaptation of this as yet. Images. Let me see if I get the cover. Oh, they got the Daryl Joyce cover. That was it. Once let me get it. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Make it bigger, baby. You know you want it. A second. Copy image. Was it copy image address? I go over here. Oh yeah, this is that's a shame, man. Can I not zoom in on that? There you go. Yeah, this took place in the Doctor's ancestral home, and it like wrapped up the whole Andrew Cartmel arc. All right, and I think it did it quite well. This is the cover for the original novel. Again, I'm just amazed Big Finish haven't made a what's it called again? A adaptation of this one. Right, this will seem to be the most important one to make an adaptation of. Right, yeah, this is the Doctor visiting his ancestral home. And then let's find the. Oh yeah, this is the alternate cover. Again, was it? Oh, it's on DeviantArt. There was one by. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Daryl Joyce, right? Another Daryl Joyce one. It is Daryl Joyce, isn't it? I don't want to give the wrong Andrew Cartman, blah 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 blah. Novelization. Yeah, these are great. Yeah, these are great images. But is it by Daryl Joyce? The Looms, first TARDIS interior. Anyway, yeah, that was his faux cover. Yeah, that he did. I think he did an excellent job. I'm almost positive it's Daryl Joyce, right? Decades later, Christian stole all the ideas, put them together in the wrong way, and it didn't really work. Real that China Stars perverted the genetic building material. That was bullshit and shit, and we hated it. Decanonized Doctor Who, essentially. If the Doctor was revealed to be some all-powerful deity, it would ruin the relationship with the character. Yes, we know. We tried to tell Chris Chibney, wouldn't listen. Nobody can relate to Superman, but they can get on board with the shy, secretive, everyman Clark Kent. The Doctor has always been Clark Kent, but rarely been... Okay, this is weird. I'm not sure if I agree with this. Yes, the Doctor is a eternal being wandering the cosmos and answering the prayers of those in need. Not really. However, the Doctor has always gone out of his way to the goodness. That's why Peter Capaldi, idiot in a box who helps people because it's kind. Yeah, exactly. Right? An actual ending. The thing that must never happen. Yeah, I tend to agree with him, actually. Yeah, I think it'll be a bad idea to have it. Yeah, your Doctor is the sort of thing you want to say can go on and on and on and on and on. We've all been very disappointed when the beloved TV show gets revived and completely undoes the perfect ending. Thankfully, Doctor Who would never do this because there's no definitive ending for the show's premise. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I think it would be a bad idea to have a definitive ending. Or would it? I mean, I don't know. There was, when the BBC books took over from Virgin Publishing in the 90s, right? They had a whole future history cycle of the Doctor where it started off with alien bodies, where somebody was auctioning off the Doctor's body, having been killed in some massive time war, right? And it's full of all this bio data, and there's all these different factions that want it. It was intimated it was being sold by the meddling monk. It was really good, right? Barring extreme circumstances, the Doctor can't die and instead regenerates into something else, who takes off in a brand new adventure. The Doctor isn't on some quest that a clearly defined endpoint where the companions leave. They just go somewhere else and pick up new ones. Okay, well, the Doctor was taken off air in 89. Decision came so late that no clear ending was written. And yeah, they basically wrote it on the back of a fag packet, right, as a voiceover. And honestly, it worked, right? It was a really good capstone to the classic era, I think. Whether Doctor Who comes to an end next year or decades down the line, the ending has to be open-ended, I tend to agree. As long as the viewers don't know that the Doctor and the TARDIS, I know the Doctor and the adventures can continue forever, right? The Doctor and Master being related. Well, that was the original plan, wasn't it? That they would be shown to be brothers. Right. If they did that now, they would be lovers, right? Yes. If Shooty Gatwa had brought the Master, they would be ex-lovers, right? Because that's just the only thing they know how to do. It really is the only thing they know how to do. I'll be able to watch it live just because you can do so. It doesn't mean you should. Yes. That was the president of the Federation speech in Star Trek 6, right? As he's getting ready to be assassinated by the Klingons and the isolationist Federation. Was it Kurtwood Smith, wasn't it? Yeah, the guy from that 70s, the father in that 70s show when he was in RoboCop. Can you fly, Bobby? That guy, right? Yeah, he said just because we can do a thing doesn't mean we must do a thing, right? Heroes Evil Brothers is one of the film attendant's most tiresome and overused cliches. It was much better in the 19th century. Spock as an evil brother. Well, no, he wasn't really evil. Thor has an evil brother. Well, again, in the 60s, it was a bit cooler. Stephen Moffat even gave Sherlock an evil sister. Well, that was kind of in Sherlock Holmesian lore as well. Well, the Doctor hasn't joined in with the likes of Marvel and Sherlock. It's not for lack of trying. If Roger Delgado hadn't tragically died, John Pertwee's final story will reveal that, if not brothers, the Doctor and Master were two sides of the same coin. I'm telling you, if they did what Shooty Gat were, they would have been sucking each other's dick in the Academy, right? And they will probably have extended scenes of that. And then, people go, well, what's overtly sexual about that? Nothing. A decade later, Planet of Fire teaser Davison's Doctor and Anti-Alien. Anti-Alien could be brothers, and decided after that, an early draft of the 96 movie was revealed the Doctor and Master were seeking their missing father, Ulysses. Well, actually, I kind of like that plan. Man, I really wish that that's something I would do with the AI, right? I would make a few episodes of the 1990s Doctor Who with Paul McGann that we never saw. Right? I would that's something if AI came about, I would 100% do that, right? The Wiggle Room could easily be. Oh, that Rusty Davis scoffed at the siblings' idea at the sounds of drum, but he didn't definitively dismiss it either. I did kind of like the way he did that, by the way. The Wiggle Room could be exploited by a future Doctor and showrunner. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think. Look, I think you can pretty much do anything as long as it's good. Retirement of the Daleks. Yeah, well, that hasn't worked out so well this year, has it? A second. What's I just got a message. Fine. What am I up to? Now I've lost my place. As much as we gripe about being overused, none of us want to see the Daleks retire forever, do we? I don't think we're seeing the Daleks in Shooty season 2. Right? I will be surprised. Or maybe I don't know. If it wasn't on the Daleks, we wouldn't have Doctor Who as we know it. It wouldn't have made it. Without the Daleks, it wouldn't have made it to its second block, I think. In many ways, the Daleks are more famous than any of the actors who played the Doctor over the past 61 years. Yeah, look, we read in the article last night that to the normie, the Daleks is Doctor Who, right? They're indivisible, right? They had their own movie franchise in the 60s. They had 2 movies. I guess it's a franchise. With the names of Dawning Post. Well, the 60s was huge, right? More recently, they started, with Daffy Duck and Batman and Looney Tunes back in action. And they're just being silly, right? Quite simply, the Doctor Who needs the Daleks. I tend to agree, right? And I think having a Dalek episode a year, was that too much? Maybe. I don't know. It didn't really bother me, the balance, right? As long as the stories are good, right? That's the bottom line. Change the TARDIS on Police Box. Now, I accidentally started a rumor that would be happening when Black Lives Matter was it must be 2020 when Black Lives Matter. No, 2019. Was it 2020? Black Lives Matter was really going strong, and they kept denigrating the cops. I said they're going to have to. I speculated they will remove the word police box or get rid of the police box completely, and replace something else because of the bad association. Because they do woke, stupid ideas like that a lot, right? Yes, they do. Nothing taps into the fundamental appeal of Doctor Who quite like the image of the quaint British police box standing in the alien landscape. I tend to agree, right? Now, here's a question. If you did an American version of Doctor Who, what would you do instead of a police box, right? I don't know. That's interesting. A portaloo? I don't know. It's like a phone booth from the... No, I have to think about that. I don't know. Right? I don't know. Okay, I have to think about it. I really don't know. Hopefully, I'll have an answer by Tuesday. So, why in the original pitch document, Doctor Who emphasized the need for TARDIS to disguise itself as something every day? Well, so it'll be cheap to make. Sidney Newman didn't want Doctor to be like every other sci-fi show by settling on a police box. They established its own unique iconography. Yeah, and again, it's one of those ideas that just worked, right? The Doctor Who isn't Star Trek. It doesn't have a sleek, sterile spaceship. Well, the first TARDIS console room was sleek and sterile, right? Much like the current one, which is sleek, sterile, somewhat shit, I would say. It's never been its deal. It's been, well, it is now, and it's been a show that combines the humdrum with the ordinary, battery-powered police box, a battle-old police box that can travel anywhere in time and space. Well, again, that's not what it was like when it started, and you can tell that's not what it's like with Shooter's Doctor either. The changing TARDIS into an elaborate time machine, like dreamed up by H.G. Wells, would take the Doctor, whose ramshackle charm. I tend to agree, right? Yeah. Now the TARDIS is somewhat indivisible. Reveal the Doctor's name. Yeah, that would just be stupid, right? It should be something incomprehensible, right? He should be mysterious. Of course, Stephen Moffat was never going to tell us the name of the Doctor with the episode, I guess, the name of the Doctor. But we all felt a wee twinge of anxiety back in 2013, didn't we? Instead of Moffat constructed a 3-episode arc that explicitly stated why the Doctor's name, why revealing the Doctor's name was a very bad idea. Oh, right, it will destroy the universe or something. Doctor Who, right? Doctor, they missed the question at the beginning of the time. Doctor Who. I kind of did like that ending. We're up to the Doctor's name was so powerful that revealing it would have restarted the time war and destroyed the universe itself. You don't get a bigger metaphor than that, because let's face it, if Doctor Who ever did tell us the name of the Doctor, it would collapse the central premise of the show, which they're doing anyway by making it like just too mundane. Doctor Who was always a question that hinted at the character's mysterious nature. The Doctor was an unknowable alien time traveler, and this mystique would have been severely hampered if they turned out to be called Bride or Nigel. That's a fair point. Worse still, what if somebody was attributed the convoluted alien name to the Doctor to emphasize he's not one of us? Ramanda's full name is Ramanda Vutralunda, right? It's a joke. It's a very Douglas Adams joke. That is very nice. Yeah, no, it's a name that we probably wouldn't have to understand. We wouldn't be able to understand, right? Doctor's name is a promise. It just seems like it, shoehorn things in. An American Doctor. Now, I've always said I would love to see an American version of Doctor Who, right? Like its own thing. Nerdrotic came up with the idea that Peter Dinklage as a Doctor, which I thought that's really cool. But yeah, what would you have? Maybe a jukebox. Oh, yes. That works, doesn't it? American Doctor is in a 1960s jukebox. Right? I think that actually kind of works. I think that fits into the bonkersness of what Doctor Who would be. The 1966 movie is probably the only time an American stars like Jeff Goldblum was seriously considered to play. They wasn't seriously considered. Yeah, 1 second. Do I have this video? Let me try and find it. Doctor Who USA. No, it's not here. 1 second. Doctor Who USA. Doctor Who American. Oh, here it is. There you go. Here it comes. So this is a mock-up of what if Doctor Who was American. You must have seen this before. It's really cool.
Been in this racket for 50 years.
You know what I've done? I have done it all.
Without my imagination, I wouldn't have a sense of humor.
I love Dick Van Dyke as the second Doctor. I think that's really cool.
I should explain that my presence here could either be termed as circumstantial or the force of destiny.
Now then, precisely what is it that you want of me?
Again, it's just Gene Wilder, Fourth Doctor.
What really went on between Marilyn Monroe and the Kennedys? And who really pulled the trigger on JFK?
I'm telling you, you're in for one big surprise.
I love the idea of Christopher Walken as a Doctor as well.
Very big surprise.
You were right. I am not human.
Listen, I've sized up.
There you go, Jeff Goldblum as the Doctor.
The strength of the enemy forces. Next week, I go for first strike, all-out victory.
If there's something wrong, those who have the ability to take action have the responsibility to take action.
We thought the days of losing lives were behind us.
That's a weird version of the 10th Doctor.
I ask you now to prepare for war.
When the war is over, we can have the luxury of debating the morality of what we
I supported the War Doctor very clever.
Oh, never underestimate the power of one man. I know I don't.
I've never been
Spoken to that way before. Well, maybe it's about time.
leave me alone, or I will destroy your whole planet.
Anyway, so yeah, I think the idea of American Doctor Who and being a separate thing from British Doctor Who, I think will be actually pretty good, right? Divine and Dragon said, so if I'm not mistaken, Police Box originated in America in the 19th century. I did not know that. But fell out used in the 1920s, but by then they were transplanted successfully to the UK. I still prefer a jukebox, honestly. It feels like it's got to be, I think, iconically American. Well, in the same way the Police Box is iconically British, right? It's a moot point. Anyway. Was fairly adamant that they need a British actor to play the role. Doctor Who is an iconic fictional character that is inextricably linked to the UK. Now it is, I agree with you. As with James Bond and Sherlock Holmes. All three of these characters, for good or for ill, are influenced by British culture and have done a lot to influence themselves. That's very true. An American playing the Doctor brings a completely new set of cultural stylings to the character. As I said, make it its own series. That sounds really fun. American play brings its own cultural stylings and would dilute its homespun charm. An American Doctor will potentially bigger, brasher, louder. No, not necessarily. Elements that clash with the Doctor's default. Okay, I disagree. But I would not let see an American Doctor in the in the BBC run. Doctor pulled back with AI or CGI. Totally disagree. Totally and fundamentally disagree with this guy. Why not? I mean, we want it done better than any of this stuff, but we were just watching it. Totally disagree. I think it's a great idea. You know, I don't think one of the many things I didn't like about the 60th anniversary, the giggle, which was the best of the three, but what was the lack of connection to the history of Doctor Who, right? Now, and then when Judy arrives, they were just interested in connecting it to the history of Doctor Who. But that bit at the end where they're playing a game of ball with the toy maker, they could have done something like, he keeps these, because he bi-generated, it's unstable, and suddenly, boom, he turns into Troughton, and then boom, he turns into, Peter Davison's Doctor, right? And do that with CGI and AI. Absolutely do that. Why not? Why not at all? I mean, aside from the huge ethical issues, that I don't see the ethical issue. None of us need to see a janky, twitching CGI zombie Doctor. Well, I'm sorry, it's done better than that now. If old Doctors return, do it the right way. We got the likes of David Bradley and Sean Pertwee. Again, look, we just watched was it AI version of William Hartnell in Doctor Who, right? We literally just watched it, right? And I think it worked pretty well. Having said that, I would like to see Sean Pertwee play the third Doctor. And I like to see Stephen Noonan play the first Doctor. I think he generally speaking quite nails it. Fine. So they are the biggest crimes of Doctor Who. Unwoking Marvel. Yeah, we're not getting to that today. We're not getting to that today. I'm too tired, mate. I am back on Tuesday. Not on Thursday. I might do a show on Wednesday. But I'm not on Wednesday. I'm not on Thursday. Friday, I'm never on. And Saturday. I'm off for those 3 days. I'm off of my holes. I'm off to the Dead Sea. Put my feet up for a few days. That sounds fan-dabby-double-dozy. That sounds like the way to go. Fine. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me tonight for this fart and frivolity. I hope to see you next time, baby. I'm going to hit the end broadcast button. I'm going to hit it again and say good night, good luck, and may